What's going on, guys? Connie Ian's back here again. So today we got the man, the myth, the legend, the cancelled man, Andrew Tate, guys. So obviously we all know he's been cancelled from all social media, guys. He's over on Rumble now, so if you guys want to help support him, go over there if you guys like watching him. But this one is called The Story of the Plane Crash, but also it's to do with therapy. All the comments and my subscribers were saying, if you like the mental health one where he's talking about depression, anxiety, this one's about mental health, but in terms of therapy sessions and how you should never go to therapy. So this one could be insane, guys. Should be crazy, very triggering. Obviously some people have different ideas on it, but let's get straight into it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you guys think down below, man. Should you go to therapy or not, man? I'll be giving my comments throughout also, guys. Let's get it.
It is detrimental. Not only is it useless, not only is it not science, not only is it bullshit, it actually makes people worse. The worst thing you can do if you have a problem is sit and fucking talk about it all day. People say you shouldn't bury your problems because if you repress them, that's bullshit.
Well, that's of what's to come, guys. Let's get ready for that.
Welcome back to the best, most underrated, undersubscribed to YouTube channel on the internet. Tate Speech. I'm here with my coffee, chilling. And today we're going to talk about therapy. Because I have a gripe with therapy. And if you've been watching my channel for long enough, you know that I have a gripe with many things. And I'm always right. I'm eternally correct. If I have a gripe with something, then that something is in trouble. Because my logic is infallible. And I have a genuine problem with therapy as a whole.
Oh.
So let's start from the beginning. What is therapy? Well, therapy is the idea that you need to go through life crying about the bad things that have happened to you, to some other mortal being as if they are God, and that somehow that makes things better. You need to go to some other normal human with their own problems, who's no better than you, and sit there and go, oh, this happened, that happened, and sit there and bitch about it. And that somehow this inaction is going to improve your life. This Tate Speech is going to have a lot of different elements to it because my problems with therapy are varied. But one of my...
So normally, like, he's just basically contesting the normal procedure. If you ever go through PTSD, something traumatic, you should always go to therapy and talk about it. He's saying you should take action, go do something, maybe work out, do something else like that, guys. Like I said, guys, leave in the comments down below what you guys think.
Largest problems with therapy is that it's an antithesis to my worldview. And my worldview is that action always wins. Momentum, speed, power, forward, forward, forward. Anyone who's done business with me knows the first thing I say is, okay, good idea. How quickly is it done? The sooner it's done, the sooner it makes money. If it takes 2 days instead of 1 day, that's one extra day we've lost we can never make money during. You want to be a millionaire, do things quickly. Action wins. Therapy is not action. Therapy is sitting and crying and complaining. Talk is not action. A fucking chit chat isn't action. Is it, G? No. G knows. Action is doing something. If you feel depressed, G, you're going to spill my fucking coffee and you're ruining my Tate Speech. Piss off. If you feel depressed, you go to the gym. You do something. You don't sit and cry about it. Oh, I feel depressed. Let's go sit and have a talk. Words don't count as action, not in the harsh realm of reality. So that's one of the first problems I have with therapy. The second...
You guys said I shouldn't have been cringing and laughing at the other ones when it was a controversial topic. So I'm not going to do that anymore, guys. But that was a genuine reaction to the last one, guys. So I'll try not to cringe too much at this.
The second problem I have with therapy is...
But I don't think this is cringe at all, by the way. This is actually... I think this is pretty facts.
Therapists don't want you to get better. Therapists want little piles of goo they can poke at, little weak individuals they can just poke at and ask stupid questions to. We're going to pay an hourly rate forever.
Yeah, that's most guys. That's most medical professionals, guys. They just want you to keep paying money and money over and over again for endless amount of time so they make money.
It's not in their business model to improve your life. It doesn't make any sense. They just want to sit there and let you just talk shit as long as it takes. What's crazy about this is, how can you go and sit in front of a therapist and not cross your mind that this therapist has a bullshit life anyway? All these therapists are getting divorces and cheating on their fucking wives and are just as depressed as you. So why the fuck do you think they know anything? If therapists understand psychology so well, why are they not all living these perfect, ideal lives? Well, they're not, because they don't know shit. And I say this to therapists.
Basically calling them the therapists like hypocrites, right?
and we're going to get onto my story about therapists. When I said this to therapists, they go, oh, we don't claim to be perfect. Well, if you don't claim to be perfect, then what you know doesn't mean shit. If you're telling me that your own knowledge cannot be applied to yourself to provide yourself with the perfect life, then you cannot provide anyone else with a perfect life. Therefore, who gives a fuck what you think? You're an idiot. The idea that therapy is somehow necessary or mandatory is just new age Western garbage. I actually watched a really interesting documentary about a girl in the 1970s who was in a plane crash in Brazil, I think it was, somewhere in South America. And the plane crashed and everyone died except for her. And when she woke up, the plane crashed, she was knocked out. She woke up, still in the seat, next to her decapitated mother and dead bodies all around her. She got up, she foraged for food, she had some cuts and bruises, one of them got an infection. For 4 days she was surviving the jungle before she was succumbing to the fever she had from the infection. Jesus. She laid down ready to die and got found by some local people which nursed her back to health. She ended up going back to Germany. She was a German girl. And they said, well, what happened afterwards? She goes, well, I went to Germany and my dad obviously thought I was dead, but I wasn't. So he told me to get a job and I got a job and that's it. Carried on with life. And literally they asked her, well, didn't you go to therapy? She saw her decapitated mother next to her after a fucking plane crash. Jeez. And her reply was, no, in those days we didn't do therapy. She just carried on with life.
Yeah, like this is the thing, guys. What do you guys think? If there's a really traumatic event, should you go to counseling? Should you go to this? Should you do that? Or should you just, you know what I mean, get on with it? A lot of people think, because like, I'm half Eastern European, guys, genetically, right? It doesn't mean shit. I don't actually live there, but I've lived in Western culture my whole life. But like, really, realistically, guys, Western culture talks about how therapy is good and stuff like that. But maybe in other cultures they do something else. I think in like Asian cultures, they just like, go on a tent, smoke weed for like a few days, and then they come out, when someone dies. It's not like this whole rigmarole. It's a little bit different and things like that. Would that be better, guys? Leave down below what you guys think. Like, pretty much like airing out your problems, talking about them all the time probably isn't good, because you're constantly thinking about them, trying to take action and do different things and try and get on with stuff would probably be better, right, in the long run. So
now you're telling me that she can carry on with life and get on with things after seeing her decapitated mother, after fucking nearly dying from some jungle fever bullshit, but you need therapy because people say mean words to you on the fucking internet?
Bro, this is just trolling. I've never taken offense to anything anyone's ever said on the internet, ever. Like, ever. It just doesn't affect me. But maybe some people it does, guys, because some people might look at someone and say, oh, that's a big, tough, strong dude or whatever. They might be able to handle more pressure, handle more insults, handle more, stress. But realistically, it's building up your mind and your body to, to be able to prevent and, to be able to callous your mind against these things, guys.
You're a pussy! The thing with all this new age shit is that some things should be universal across the human condition. If therapy was so necessary, it would have been necessary forever. The fact that it wasn't necessary before and is now necessary means it's new think, new age, and you've been conditioned to believe that you need it.
I was always saying to Steve, my brother and shit, I was like, man, therapy's for rich people. You know what I mean? I always made that joke. Like, any kind of like thing, like, oh, medical bills and stuff, that's, go to the hospital, that's for rich people. But that's not true, guys. Probably getting therapy is probably an okay thing, right?
People survived without it for a very, very long time. Therapy is not necessary. That bitch from Germany in the plane has been through more shit than you will ever go through, more shit than I've ever been through. And she didn't need fucking therapy, so why do you need therapy? Because you're a pussy. Now,
you see, it's really funny because he's kind of half trolling, half kind of he's calling me a pussy and shit like that. For me personally, guys, I've gone through really hard shit, like people dying and stuff like that. But I've never, ever in my life, I'm going to go to therapy or take antidepressant drugs, anything like that, guys. That's just not in my human condition, guys. I'm just never going to do that, ever. I'm going to go out, do 100 push-ups, go for a big, massive workout. I'm going to do a leg day that day. Something really bad happens next day, leg day. You know what I mean? All that stress will be gone,
Now, I've actually sat across from therapists 3 distinct times. 3 individual times I have been forced to attend some psychoanalyst bullshit. I'm going to tell you what happened.
Oh, here we go.
So for these 3 times I had to see a psychoanalyst were all for TV shows. I've been on a variety of reality TV shows. Genuinely 8 of you. Genuinely 8 of you are the piss taking. I'm telling you, I'm telling you what I've seen. From what I've seen, 8 of you. Snakes, you know, snakes. Not arguing with someone to their face and slacking them off to the diary room.
Don't rise to it. Don't rise to it. You call us all snakes?
Oh yeah, well.
Be respectful, because you come into here. You came into here and we called 8 of us snakes.
Yeah, of course. And they make you go and see a psychologist to ensure you're not going to kill anyone else or kill yourself or anything weird when you're on TV. So I'm sitting in front of this psychologist. I sit down, he goes, oh, hi, what's your name? I'm talking to him. We're having a little bit of a chit chat. And then I said to him, he asked me, oh, why'd you become a kickboxer? Thinks he's fucking smart. Mr. fucking pen and paper. Why'd you become a kickboxer? Violent tendencies. He likes to appear masculine. Fuck knows what he was writing down. Some gay, stupid shit. You know, these people are fucking idiots.
That's true.
Why'd you become a kickboxer? I said, why'd you become a therapist? He goes, well, I really found it interesting. I said, yeah, but it's not science, is it? And he goes, well, why do you say that? I said, well, 1 + 1 is always 2. But with an alcoholic, you can have a person whose father was an alcoholic, so they're an alcoholic. You can have a person whose father was an alcoholic, so they don't drink alcohol at all. People can be in the same situation, have very different outcomes depending on who they are as an individual.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's not
like everyone I've ever hung out with growing up, they've done drugs and stuff. I've never touched any drug. Like that's just me personally. I just work out all the time. You know what I mean? I might hit them steroids when I'm older though. Get those biceps just bopping, guys. You know what I mean? Maybe
science because it's not exact. The whole point of science is that you can predict the future. For something to be science, for something to be exact, you have to be able to predict the future with it. 1 + 1 is 2. Which means if I take 1 and 1 and put them together again, it will be 2 again in the future. This is how we can put rockets into space. Because we can predict, we can see where the planet's going to be. We know where to put the satellites. We can work things out. You can predict the future with a science. You can't predict the future with psychology. You can't sit there and psychoanalyze someone and tell me what I'm going to do. You can't stop me throwing this cup of coffee in your face. You can't stop me doing shit. You don't know anything. So it's not a science. And he sat there and he thought, this motherfucker's smarter than I expected. And he waited for a few seconds. He goes, oh, well, it's not exact, but you know, there are some very general rules. And that was his answer. Now,
that's not a bad answer.
Psychologists do this a lot. Psychologists, therapists, etc. They give stupid ass answers. And because 99% of people are stupid, they get away with it. There's some general rules. And I said, oh, there's some general rules. Then why are we speaking, friend? Because I'm not a general individual. General rules, by your own description, general rule means it must apply to people in general. It must apply to the masses. It must apply to normal people. It's the average of the bell curve. I'm an exceptional individual. I'm a 4-time kickboxing world champion with a genius IQ. I've made more money than you will ever make. I've done things you could never do. I'm smarter than you are. So why are you talking to me? All of your general rules do not apply to exceptional people. Otherwise, they'd be rules for the exceptions. You just said general rules. You have just admitted you are not qualified to interview me. Is it true or false? True or fucking false? He just admitted general rules for general idiots. You're clearly above everyone, Andrew Tate. You're the Lord of Earth. So I don't know shit about
the
you.
Lord of Earth.
So he sits there with his pen, doesn't know what to say because I'm correct, and just starts writing things down. So he's writing things down, and eventually I got tired of him writing things down, so I stood up. Just stood up really quick. And as I stood up, he shat himself and dropped his pen. I stood up and he went and dropped his pen. These are your masters. These are the therapists you worship. These are your lords. When I stand up, he shits himself. Don't hurt me, like a fucking pussy. Therapist. I just looked at him. He had genuine shame in his eyes. He knew he fucked up. Him and I know. I guarantee I changed the trajectory of his career for the rest of his life. He will never forget the day he met Andrew Tate. Not only did he get out-argued, not only did he get embarrassed, but he felt shame when he dropped his pen. And I said, his pen was on the floor. I said, you dropped your pen. And I walked out the room. He didn't call me back. He didn't want to see me again. I never saw that report. I don't know what he wrote down. And I'm sure he made up a whole bunch of shit. Oh, aggressive, this, that. Try to like make himself feel better by writing bad things on the piece of paper. But the reality is he could not defend his own profession. And in the harsh reality of the world, he shat himself. Now, why did he shit himself? I'll tell you why. Because when I said at the beginning of this video, action versus inaction. Therapists live in a world of inaction. To sit and chit-chat and talk and discuss. Maybe, tell me when you were 12, that time you had that orange juice, like, who gives a shit? I live in a world of action, and you know what action is? Physical force.
Yeah.
He was afraid that I was gonna attack him. Now, I'm not a violent man. But because I embarrassed him because I destroyed his worldview so brutally. He was left in a state of childlike fear. He was left in a state where he was sitting there feeling vulnerable. So when I stood up and he saw my pure physical prowess, he shat himself. A vulnerable man in a vulnerable state with supreme force moving quickly in front of him. Of course he dropped his pen. What else is he going to do? Action. Me standing up is real action. Me whooping someone's ass is real action. Sitting there having a chit chat and writing things down is inaction.
Yeah.
Therapists live in a world of inaction. I live in a world of action.
Right.
And as I said at the beginning, action always trumps inaction. My final point on therapy is as follows. It is detrimental. Not only is it useless, not only is it not science, not only is it bullshit, it actually makes people worse. The worst thing you can do if you have a problem is sit and fucking talk about it all day.
For some people that may be true. Like for me, I wouldn't want to do that shit. Like I'm not fucking sitting down. No, I'm not taking any drugs. Fuck your drugs. Fuck your fucking talk. I'm gonna go out there and hit the gym. You know what I mean? Hit the club. You know, make shit happen. You know what I mean? Hit the fucking bar with my friends. Probably not drink, guys. Drinking makes it worse. Like I said, it's all drugs, right? Makes shit worse. That is a fact, guys. You know what I mean? Unless you're taking some testosterone, which I'm not, guys. You know what I mean? Hopefully one day, once I hit that, well, maybe once I hit 35. But anyway, that aside, guys, probably does make shit worse. And for some people, I think it would be good to talk to someone if you feel like you need to talk to someone, like lonely or whatever. That's probably the case, right? All jokes aside.
People say you shouldn't bury your problems because if you repress them, that's bullshit. World War II, how many people died? Did everyone sit around and fucking go, oh, we don't have time to rebuild all the cities and create the NHS. We need to sit and fucking talk about all the bad things that's happened. Every single person has a horror story, from Russia to Germany through France, England, America, the Japanese, the Philippines. Everyone has something bad to say. So let's somehow clone the entire population of Earth so we have enough fucking therapists and sit there and talk all day instead of getting shit done. Bullshit. People shut up and they got shit done. There's nothing wrong with fucking having something bad happen to you, internalizing it the best you can, maybe speaking about it with someone close to you, but in general, just shutting the fuck up and getting on with it.
Like, I speak to my brother and shit, or like, that's about it. If you don't have a brother and you're a guy, you're kind of fucked.
Therapy is detrimental, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to prove it to you once and for all.
Here we go.
Robin Williams is my test case.
Oh, yeah.
So, I often say depression isn't real. If you don't know that about me, you can watch my video on Tate Speech about my mind tricks on how to beat depression. Depression is a state of mind, and with an iron mind, you can destroy it. I teach people how to do this. But
that's pretty cool.
Robin Williams is the case people often come to me and say, well, if depression isn't real, why did Robin Williams kill himself? And that's a pretty good argument. I mean, Robin Williams was famous. He was a millionaire. He didn't have to grow old gracefully. He could have had 19-year-old girlfriends for the rest of his life and drove Lamborghinis and bungee jumped and do whatever the fuck he wanted. He was liked by everyone. No one disliked him.
Yeah.
No negative attention,
That's
no negative
true,
media,
like,
nothing.
that
So
is
why
true.
does Robin
Like, everyone loves Robin Williams, so let's hear it.
Williams kill himself? Well, I'll tell you why. Therapy is why. Robin Williams did 12 years of therapy. For 12 years, not only was he taking mind-altering antidepressant drugs.
There you go, it's how it, man. Don't take drugs, man. It's fucking just the worst shit, man. Everyone in America's on that shit, guys, and they give those people guns as well. It's insane.
Which is a video in and of itself. Why I'll never do it.
My cat's outside, guys. Don't take drugs. Buy a cat. Hold on a second. Come here, motherfucker. Can you see that, zombie? Come here, catso. She jumped down. Shame, guys. You didn't get to see my cat. My cat's legendary, man. Her name, Kalashnikov. Let's keep going.
Antidepressants. But on top of that, every single day he's sitting there with a fucking therapist. If you sit in front of someone all day, every day, and talk about all the bad things that have ever happened to you all day, every day, you're gonna feel pissed off. Even I would want to jump off a fucking bridge if I spent 12 years talking to some dickhead about all the bad things that's happened in my life.
How can people not love, first of all, Andrew Tate? And second of all, how can you not agree with that? That is just like, bro, it's true. Like, if you go through like PTSD, maybe talk about it once or twice. But after that, guys, just shut the fuck up and get on with it, guys. Like, bad shit, everyone's dying. Everyone has more money than you. I'm too broke to be fucking worrying about mental health problems, guys. That's just straight up. Like, that's just actually how I act every day. I'm just too broke to be... And I'm not broke, guys. You know, I have thousands in the bank account. I'll have you know. But I'm not making shit, guys. You know, I'm making some shit from YouTube. I'll talk about that very soon. I'm actually making a good bit from YouTube now. But it's still not enough, guys, you know?
It's detrimental. Sitting there crying about bad things is never going to help you. If you're the kind of person who feels like they need therapy, you need someone to talk to make me feel better. Do you know what you are? You're useless. Because in the harshest realities of this cold world, there are people in Syria whose entire families have been blown to fuck with a bomb from the sky, who are still getting up every day, making fucking bread and selling it on the streets so they have enough money to buy a new pair of sandals sometime next year.
Bro, if you live in a Western culture, you are just so blessed, man. It's unbelievable. Like I say, guys, I'm half Eastern European. I go to Slovakia every year, Czech Republic, all these places. It is so poor. Guys, I'm kissing the ground every time I come home. People don't know what that level of poorness is. Like, it's just... Bro, different level. So be grateful, guys.
Well, you're crying about fucking nothing with your first world bullshit to some dickhead therapist who probably does coke on the weekends. Another thing therapists do, you'll notice, they talk in riddles. They speak in riddles. Well, why do you think that is? The reason they speak in riddles is because they don't tell you anything. They ask you questions. Because if they ask you questions, they can never be wrong. If they tell you things, they're wrong. If you sit there and go X, Y, Z, and they go, oh, that's because of X, Y, Z, then you can say, no, it's not. Fucking moron, I'm out of here. But if you go X, Y, Z and they go, and how do you think X is related to Y? Then you talk for another 20 minutes. That's another hour burned. Burn that time up, keep paying the fucking bills. They don't say anything of relevance or anything of merit because they can be used against them. They don't want anything used against them. They just want you to fucking sit and chat shit. It's garbage.
Alright, guys, absolutely legendary speech again from the main man. I personally agree with that. I don't think everyone can agree to these things, guys. That's what I personally agree with him, like I said, but I personally don't think that everyone, it may help some people, obviously. It's kind of hard to paint everyone with the same brush, but for the most part, I think most people should just take action, go to the gym, work on your job, work on your purpose every single day. That's the way you're going to be happy, guys. No woman, no all this shit, guys. That's all not going to make you guys happy. Money, all this shit, driving Lamborghinis. What's going to happen is your purpose, your gym, things like that, guys. That'll make you happy, guys. You know what I mean? Forcing yourself to do things when you don't want to do things, that was what make you guys super happy. Hope you guys enjoyed that, man. Love you guys all. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.